This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now then, let me give you a little heads up before we kick off today. If the audio quality, especially on my voice, isn't as, kind of pristine as it usually is, then there is a reason for that. And, well, let me explain. Actually, let me ask you something. Can you see this microphone? I can see this microphone. And until yesterday evening, Windows 10 could see this microphone. But then I came in here, it's Sunday morning as I'm recording this, came into the little back bedroom office where I work from this morning and fired everything up to do some work on this video and a few Skype lessons later. And suddenly Windows 10 is going, microphone? What microphone? I can't see a microphone. You're imagining things. So it was a case of, it's Sunday morning and I need a new microphone. Where is open that sells microphones? So it was a quick rush to the local branch of Argos to get the only microphone that they had in stock ready for click and collect. This one here, 22 quid's worth of, superior audio technology, we hope. But let me know how it sounds. I think I've got it dialed in reasonably well. No doubt I will replace it in due course and just chuck this in the spares drawer while this one goes in the recycling, because it's clearly not playing nice anymore. Anyway, onto the video. Tell me, what can you remember about 1976? If you were alive then and in the UK, then you probably remember it as, I think I'm correct in saying, the hottest summer that we've ever had. And, amongst other things, there was, it was the 70s, so there was industrial turmoil and strikes going on, but there was some good music that came out that year, including this one, Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. So today we're looking at the guitar solo from that and a little bit of an explanation to what's going on. So let's crack on. Here it is. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here then. I'm going to break the solo down into three parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Just makes it easier to digest that way, I think. And, well, first of all, let's begin with part 1. It's played over this chord sequence. And all of those chords come straight from the key of G major. So no prizes for guessing. We're going to be using the G major scale here for most of this solo. In fact, a few changes as we go along, but G major is the predominant key that we're kind of in. So to begin with, we're going to be looking at this pattern of G major scale and a little bit of this one. So let's have a look at the licks that are being played over this first part of the solo. We start with and I don't know about you, but I can hear a very strong kind of question and answer feel to that. Just a nice little bit of phrasing. Moving on to the next part, we get again, there's a natural sort of call and response thing going on there with the question and the answer. and then almost like a closing statement for this part of the solo with. So all G major scale, any note that is prominently featured that you're kind of emphasizing and kind of hanging on to for a while, if you double check what chord it's being played over, you will always find that it's a note that's actually present in the underlying chord. It's what makes any solo tend to sound melodic. Okay, moving on to the part 2 of the solo, that is played over this chord sequence. And once again here, we are kind of predominantly in the key of G major, apart from one chord, that E major 7th. So why is that there, is the natural question. Well, if you remember when we looked at the Cars solo last week, we had a chord in that chord sequence that was borrowed from a parallel key. And that's kind of what's going on here. The key of G major is also, or can also be viewed as the key of E minor. And if you're in the key of E minor, then you can borrow a chord from the key of E major, which is exactly what that E major 7th is. So let's have a look at the licks that are played over this section then. Again, we've got... And again, to me, there's just a very obvious call and response kind of thing going on with those two licks. So then, at that point, we're into that E major 7th chord, where all we do is literally, there's the chord. All we do is just play this little fragment of it here. Like that. So it's that part of the E major 7th chord, and then running up an E major scale. G sharp, A and B, 3 notes from the E major scale that fit over that E major 7th chord, and that takes us nicely to this C note here. That C there and the E that comes immediately after it are part of the A minor 7th chord, which has just arrived. Okay, and then we get the dying moments of the acoustic part of the solo, which goes like this. There we go, and the electric guitar has already kind of come in at that point there. And that's what we're going to look at next in part 3 of the solo. So this is where the electric guitar comes in, played by Tim Rennick, and we start with that little lick there. Part 3 of the solo is played, I should say, over this chord sequence. Almost forgot, it goes like this. And in terms of the chords that are being used there, it's sort of floating between 2 keys, really. You've got the D and the G major 7th, which are both in the key of D major, and they're both in the key of G major. The A 7th chord on which it ends is from the key of D major, but the C major 7th chord that comes before it is from the key of G major. B minor is in both keys, and this B 7th chord here is just it's just setting up a bit of tension. Basically, that C major 7th chord that comes after it is nothing more. If you look at C major 7th like this, oops, that is just an E minor chord with a C note in the bass. And anytime you've got an E minor, you can go to it from a B7. So what he's kind of doing, I think, when he's written this song, is he's thinking in terms of that C major 7th as being sort of an E minor with a different bass note, and he's approaching that from the B7 that comes before it. Anyway, that's what's going on with the chords. Let's have a look at the lead guitar part. So it goes... That's the first lick there. like that, and then that there, I'll just play that slowly. And this part here, he's obviously thinking the D major key at this point, because he uses a C sharp note as opposed to a C, which would be in the key of G major. Then we arrive at that B7 chord, so we focus on the D sharp in that chord. Bending the D sharp, playing the D sharp, then bend it up to E, and then F sharp. So, you know, you're getting the D sharp and the F sharp, which are both notes from that B7 chord. And then we bend up to this B note here, which is a note that's in the C major 7th chord. And then finish on this A note here, over the A7 chord, before the sax comes in and the song carries on to the next section. So that's a bit of a look at what's going on in this rather fine solo from Year of the Cat. And as usual, there is a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a jam track and that little clip that you've just seen there. It's all up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. Special little thank you to all my Patreon supporters who help me keep the lights on around here. Thank you guys, it is truly appreciated. It's only $3 a month and you get all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube lessons. And yes, so thank you to everybody who's doing anything like that. Right, that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it useful and informative and maybe a little bit inspiring, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. As I'm sure you know, the guitar that I was using in that clip there is this, my Scott Guitars UK John Robson signature model. Absolutely fabulous handmade boutique guitar for a price that might surprise you. So if you're interested in getting that one special guitar that you want to treat yourself to, then the link is downstairs in the description, as are all the links to all the ways that you can help support the channel. Thank you so much if you're doing anything like that already, and thank you in advance if you're thinking about doing it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for watching, thank you for your time, look after yourselves folks, stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.